Powerful and provocative. Prophetic and practical.
Have you ever found yourself?
Are you dating for that person?
Informative and
I feel
inspirational.
every bit of it. Like, I'm not trying to waste my
How you gonna do better if you don't know what better looks like? I do. Come on, let's talk about it with me, the Mind Massager.
Hold on, I gotta put my mic on. What's up? Hold on, I'm just letting this music play for a minute while I get everything set up. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I literally just got back from the barbershop, so I had to get this head cut. So I'm letting the music play a little bit longer than I normally would, and letting a few people know that I'm on, and going to have a little fun for a few minutes, because today has been an interesting day on my page. We've had some good discussions, and I was trying to see if we could bring some of those discussions to the show tonight. I'm usually live on Monday nights, but I decided to pop on tonight because, like I said, we dealt with a couple of today, and yeah, we've had some good discussions today, and I think if you all would share this conversation and let people know that we're on. I'm letting my music loop for a little while until I see y'all pop on. Y'all see I got my fire. I got the fire behind me tonight, man. So the show gonna be fire. We're gonna have a fireside chat and have some discussions about this whole relationships and different facets of relationships and things of that nature. And like I said, I just got back from the barbershop. Had to get this head of mine cut because I don't like walking around looking like a Hebrew slave. But I'm ready now. So we're going to get this thing started. So most people don't know that I come on during the week. They only used to me coming in on Monday nights. But I'm trying to get to the point where I come on a little more regularly, and we'll have a little more fun. So let me stop this music before it starts. Y'all, I want to hear one more time. I want to hear one more time too. Let me let it go. One more time. Oh, let me see. Anybody in the chat? If you're there, say hello. Say what's up. Let me know. What's up, Steve? What's going on, bro? Everything good with you? Man, I need your help. So stick around. Share this conversation. Share this thread. Let people know. We're gonna get into this whole relationship issue, man. A couple of different facets of relationship. And like I said, we had a good discussion on my page today about a couple of different discussions, and I want to I want to bring them to the table tonight. I want to bring them to the table tonight. Let me pull up my page for in case I need to share the page. But yeah, I want to bring these discussions to the table. And if y'all help me, listen, and I really want to organically develop a panel tonight. I want some of you all who that are in the chat. I want you all to jump in tonight if you have anything that you want to say or that if you want to contribute to this conversation. Let me get this music off before it starts again. Let me hear it one more time live. I love it.
Intellectual Stew with James Kirkland.
That's me.
Intellectual.
Get my page up where I want to be. Have y'all shared it yet? Share the page yet? If you haven't, please. Let me get this thing up where I want to be.
Intellectual Stew.
Yeah, because we had a bunch of okay. I'm kind of typical. All right, so here we go. Listen, I'm never gonna bash anybody for your comments, but sometimes I might. Who cares? Doesn't matter. Anyway, so what's up? What it do? Time for another episode of the Intellectual Stew with yours truly, James Kirkland. And this is a rather impromptu show tonight. What's up, Quinn? I got that Steve Harvey cut crispy. Yeah, my barber, Shemaine, he does his thug thizzle. Quinn, you want to get on the stage tonight? You got your hair done? Is your hair did? I need somebody on this stage that's gonna tell the truth. That's gonna tell the truth and the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God. I do not want the cliche answers. I want the real and the raw right now. So listen, share this thread. Let's get this conversation started. And we're gonna jump into a couple of these relationships issues. No, hold on. Let me put the link in the chat. I'm going to put the link for the show in the chat because right now you can't get on because I haven't given you the link. So if I send the link and you feel like you have something to say about these discussions, feel free. Come on the stage. But do understand that I do have very good blocking power. I will block you if you say something crazy. Not block you, but I will knock you off the stage if you come on talking crazy. But really ain't no crazy. I don't censor people. Somebody asked me today, did I delete a comment? Why would I do that? Say what you want to say. You grown. And if you say it, that's on you. You don't want to look like you look. I ain't got nothing to do with me. But there the link is. I just put it in the chat. Let me go to my other page and put it in the chat in there as well. Because I want you all to come on. In fact, that's what I want this show to start becoming. I want to organically develop a panel every night. I want some people that are in the audience that are typing and that I see being active. And you want to jump on the stage, if you're not ashamed, you don't have to always show your face. I prefer you show your face because I read body language. I read reactions. So it helps me kind of keep the conversation going. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what we're about to do. We're about to jump into this conversation tonight. I want to start with a couple of different things. First of all, thank you for your support. I appreciate you all for all that you do as far as helping us promote this brand, that help us promote this platform. And we try our best to bring you grown-up conversation, but but more than anything, I just want to spark everyday conversation. These are things that we talk about, that we think about, but sometimes when we look at them, we kind of I'm rubbing my hands together like Birdman. I got a middle finger in the middle of those hands too. Never mind. I'm going to keep that to myself. I'm just playing, Lakeisha. Don't cuss me out. But I want to, instead of just looking at a surface approach, anybody that likes to swim and that learns how to swim, at a certain point, you want to get off. You ain't got to stay around. I'm just playing, Keisha. I told you, I love you. But y'all ever notice how crowded it was in the kiddie pool? Because most people can't handle swimming in deeper water, right? But in the deeper water, you can dive off the diving board, you can backstroke, you can go to the bottom of the pool, but you got to be willing to do that. And sometimes rather than just answering a question that I put on the post, think about it a little bit, could there be some truth to it? I was young man called me. I told you for whatever reason lately, a lot of people been calling me that's been having marital issues, and he was sharing me some of his issues, and we talked, and I said, all right, that's one way. Let's look at it a couple of different ways, and I presented 3 or 4 different ways. Same thing with these posts, critical thinking. I know it's a lost art. A lot of people don't do it like they used to, but it's available. And it's fun. I call it perhapsing. It could mean this, or perhaps it could mean that, or perhaps it could mean this or that, whatever. But that's what we do. So first question I asked this morning, and I got inboxes about this particular question this morning, was I said, other than the obvious, beyond the obvious, what are deal breakers for you in relationships that probably shouldn't be? Beyond the obvious, what are deal breakers in relationships that probably shouldn't be? Now, of course, I say it probably shouldn't be a deal breaker. When I say that probably shouldn't be a deal breaker, then it probably doesn't really, it's probably a little far-fetched, probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like I said, for me, a deal breaker that probably shouldn't make sense. Well, the first thing I said was, if you got a cat. I ain't rocking with no cat. I don't care if whatever. They look evil. I don't like them. I'm not gonna say I'm afraid of them, but I had a couple of cats try to scratch me in life. When young ladies did have cats that I would go visit. So that was my deal breaker. But beyond the obvious, let me ask you those questions, because I want to kind of get this audience started before we really jump into the meat of the conversation. And like I said, those that are in the audience, if you don't want to type it, there the link is. Come in and let's talk about it. Beyond the obvious, what are deal breakers for you in relationships that probably should not be deal breakers? Now, when I asked this question, first answer was lies. I can't deal with anybody lying to me. Well, that sounds like an obvious deal breaker. I don't think anybody wants anybody lying to them, right? I had a couple people say not taking care of themselves, all these types of things, yada, yada, yada. But that was the first question I asked today. And I really, and the key word, and I even put the word shouldn't in all caps. So, and then I got a couple of good answers. I'm gonna give you one good answer. And it was a really good, well thought out answer. And then eventually we got a few more as the day progressed. But the first one that the person said, right? Well, one from young lady, she said, no, all my deal breakers are valid. She said that, actually, I could show y'all this, but don't worry, you can go to my page if you want to see it. But I wanted to read this particular one. Where is it? Okay, it's in the middle of the 17 replies. My bad. So I think I almost got her. Hold on, folks. There it is. She said, I hate to see a person who eat with their mouth open, talk with food in their mouth, smoke cigarettes, wearing nothing but sports attire, not only wearing boxer briefs, long fingernails, having a cat, a homebody. She said, I don't want to see the food in your mouth, but I will, see something and try and eat it, knowing damn well I'm going to eat with my mouth open to cool it off. I can't stand cigarette smoke, but I can stand the scent of marijuana. I like sports attire, but not all the time. My nails aren't long, but in my opinion, a woman with long fingernails, long manicured are okay. I love dogs, but terrified of cats. And if my man is a homebody, how can I get out and travel, enjoy new foods and experiences with my best friend? I was married to a homebody before. It was cool, I thought, when I was younger, but when I got older and into traveling, plays, movies, and etc., I don't have my man to go with, and it sucks. I don't know why I'm like this, but that's cool. I like the fact that she thought out the answer. She went all the way through this whole spiel and broke down stuff that might not make sense. I don't like cigarette smokes, but I could deal with the scent of marijuana. I don't really like dogs, but I really like dogs, but I'm terrified of cats. All those things. If you eat with your food in your mouth or with your mouth open, and I see that, but I know damn well when I eat something and my mouth is hot, I'm going to be trying to open my mouth. It was honest. It shouldn't be deal breakers, but for her, they are deal breakers. Another young lady said, let me find her comment. Another one said, drinking out the carton and then putting it back in the refrigerator. Eating, where's it at? Yeah, eating out the carton and putting it back in the refrigerator. Another one said, belching like a roaring lion. She said she's rolling her eyes just thinking about it. But all those things, they were saying them, and when they finally started to get it, and they were like, these are things, deal breakers that probably shouldn't be deal breakers. And I'm gonna ask you, the few of you all that are in the chat right now, what are, if you don't mind participating, I could use your help tonight. What are deal breakers for you in relationships that probably shouldn't be? And some of you might say, well, I don't have any invalid deal breakers. All my deal breakers are valid. If it don't make sense, I can. If it's outside that realm, then I'm gonna roll with that one, and that's okay. If that's your testimony, if that's your situation, then roll with that one. But for me, if you got a cat, I mean, I used to be scared of dogs growing up. I ain't gonna lie. I got bit by a dog when I was a baby, and I don't know if I was really as much afraid of dogs as I was as people made me. Okay. People that made me, for like for instance, every time I would be around a dog, somebody would grab me and say, "Yeah, grab him. He's afraid of dogs. He's scared of dogs." And then I think if they eventually kind of perpetuated that or projected that fear on me even the more, if that makes sense. And so eventually I just kind of adopted this mentality where where I was afraid of dogs. So some of y'all decided to put some deal breakers in. I don't know about that one, Sharon. She said, beyond the obvious, what are deal breakers? Lakeisha said an obvious a deal breaker for her would be men who aren't well groomed. So that means they got to keep their hair cut. If they're wearing dreads, then they got to keep them done. Can't have body odor, I mean, what all does well groomed entail? The body hair. I mean, what hands have to be manicured. What are you talking about when you start talking about all the things as it relates to men who aren't well groomed? But I don't know, maybe that should be a deal breaker. I don't know, but we'll see. What you say? No, you want to be landscaped. You said they got to be a bald-headed grown man. A bald-headed grown man looking like a little, never mind, I'm not gonna say that part. Sharon Denise said bad breath in men who don't do proper hygiene. You know what, Sharon, you're about the fourth or fifth woman that I said this today off of this post alone that have talked about men with improper. Is that a real thing, ladies? Do men walk around here musty and smelling like butt or whatever? What are they overly don't get their hair cut? What are y'all talking about when y'all talk about all these men? Because Courtney, I don't know. I don't hang around many men, but they walk around here musty, their feet. Well, it's funny you said that. Because I remember I was in the presence of somebody one time and I took off my shoes. I took off my shoes. Lakeisha, I took off my shoes. I had company one time. We were watching TV. It might have been a Netflix and chill. I don't know. But I took off my shoes. And you know what she said? She said, "Ooh, your feet don't even stink." I was like, damn, what kind of dudes you did? What kind of dudes you dealing with? That their feet for real? That's what hold on, I'm putting a okay. Yeah, that's what she said. She said that she said that I'm surprised your feet don't stink. People still on my post right now. Get on the actual group and talk. Yeah, said she was surprised that my feet didn't stink. I mean, thank God that my feet didn't stink, but that I didn't think that would be an incentive. She said, "No, landscape." What you say? Courtney said a deal breaker that shouldn't be a deal breaker is her passing gas, and I smell it, knowing if I hit it, I'm let. Courtney, what's the punishment if she passes gas and you smell it? So that means none under the cover stuff. You can't put no silent creepers on you like that. Are you breaking up with her? Are you going to sleep on the couch? I mean, what's going to be the punishment beyond that her passing gas? Okay, hold on. So Sharon said, "Don't make no sense." Men, brothers. Now hold on. Now I mean, let Uncle James talk to y'all for a minute. Let Uncle James talk to you. Let us talk. Let me talk to you. Y'all can't be walking around here musty and smelling like butt and all that kind of stuff. Pick you out a particular type of soap. Irish Spring will do just fine. I mean, I'm not doing no free commercials, but if they're paying, I'll take it. But pick you out a particular piece of soap, acquaint yourself with a shower a couple of times a day, especially if you sweat a lot. If you work out in the elements, in the atmosphere, when you come home, first thing you need to do is wash up, take a shower. And listen, if your clothes were musty and you didn't wash those clothes, don't put those clothes back on again until you wash. So it's a shame I have to have these conversations. But if Lakeisha and Sharon are saying that hygiene is an issue and you all are walking around here smelling and not taking care of yourself, yeah, I mean, real talk. I mean, and then you think somebody want to deal with all that? Now, Lakeisha's talking about being landscaped and all that kind of stuff. You'll be surprised how much more reciprocation. Hold on, let me think of a good word. You'll be surprised at how much more positive reciprocation you'll get just by taking care of yourself. That don't make no. So if you don't take care of yourself, are you teaching your sons to take care of themselves, to keep themselves clean? No, man. This don't make no sense. And now hold on. And a lot of these boys are being raised not only by men but also by women. Are y'all teaching them to wash their behinds? Because this don't make no sense. Hold on. Let me Courtney said, Courtney, that's my partner right there. He said, I don't know what me and they meeting because we bathe over here in Zion. And man, I get a haircut. I just left the barbershop. I pay at least $40 a week for a haircut. That's gonna happen. And my goal really is on most days, off the time, I don't ever want to look like I need a haircut. So that's why I keep it cut all the time. Now, every now and then, if I'm out of town for a few days or over a week or something like that, then of course, I mean, I'm afraid to let certain barbers touch my hair. But and oh man, a friend of mine gave me. I used to man, somebody messed me up. Courtney, hold on, Courtney, somebody messed me up. I ain't gonna lie, I don't get stumped often, but I got stumped the other day. Check this out. So I was saying something about I wasn't gonna let a woman cut my hair because of that whole Samson and Delilah issue, right? And somebody told me, they said, well, wouldn't the same thing have happened if a man had cut his hair? I said, dang. Okay, that was a sidebar, but I'm gonna let that slide. Okay, she got to go wash all over. Oh, he said, well, she passed gas. She got to go wash all over again. If you wash your body enough when you sweat, you would smell fragrance instead of mustard. I agree with that. I agree with all that. If you're not taking care of yourself, you really need to take care of yourself. You can't hang with me if you're not up to par. I check from my friends, even teach them about the right type of colognes. Yeah, man. Every time I met you, when I first met you at Bridging the Gap back in the day when you came and saved me that night, I never will forget that, Courtney. You were sharp that night, and every night I've seen you since then, you've been sharp. You always drink. What you wear about a 36 long, but you mean every time I see you, you sharp, and I give you that credit. And I'm sure you're teaching your son the same thing, and I would hope that would be happening. But that was the first thing we talked about today. But then the second thing that we discussed was this meme right here. This is the meme. It says you can't make someone be ready for what you're ready for, and you're not obligated to wait around for them to make up their mind. That's I think that is a fair statement. It's a whole and that, and you know what? And it depends on how you look at that statement. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna ask y'all a question before I go farther. Let's read it one more time. It says, you can't make someone be ready for what you're ready for, and you're not obligated to wait around for them to make up their mind. Now, an immature mind looking at that at first glance, and I'm gonna ask y'all the same question, would make you almost think that's an ultimatum. Do y'all think that's an ultimatum? Let's talk. Hey, the chat's in the link. The link is in the chat. Let me put it in there again. If you want to come on and talk about it, Sharon, let's talk. I agree too. And a good friend of mine had to make me see it that way. But let me put the chat in the group. Let me put the link in the chat. If anybody wants to come on and discuss that, I want you all to come on and discuss it. There the link is. You can click in it. You can click in it. You can click on it, and you can come on and you can talk. And listen, we're having a grown-up discussion. This is a safe space. You don't have to worry about anybody judging you for your thoughts at all. And if they do judge you, believe me, I have a way of taking up for my people. You see right there where it says safe zone? The intellectual stew is a safe zone. So you're welcome to come in and share your ideas. But let me put the meme back up again. This I don't know if I can put them both at the same time, but I wanted to let you all know that this is a safe zone. So here the meme is again. One more time. It says you can't make someone be ready for what you're ready for. And you're not obligated to wait around for them to make up their mind. Now, I think I was in a position somewhat like this. I was, and I was told that I was selfish, and I had to think about that. I really did. I had to really, really wrestle with that reality and question: am I really being selfish in this instance? Because let me put that meme back up because people look like a couple more people jumping in. Y'all, the link is in the chat. So if you have something to say about this subject, come on in. You can't make someone be ready for what you're ready for. And you're not obligated. You don't have to wait around for them to make up their mind. Because why? At the end of the day, who do you have to put first? You have to put yourself first. Because if you wait around and you wait around, the more investments you make. The more investments you make, the more attachment becomes. The more attachment becomes, the more investment. And eventually you got all this investment and you don't have any ROI. Y'all know what an ROI is? ROI is return on your investment. You walk away, you look up, you've been in this relationship 6 months, a year, 2 years, y'all doing everything that a relationship's supposed to do. And then all of a sudden, you're upset because that person wants to pull back. That's not fair. I want to hear some of your assessments. Somebody in the chat, maybe you've been in that situation. And if you were in that situation, maybe you want to come on and talk about it and encourage somebody else. Let's read some of the comments. Sharon said, let's talk about it because I agree. Tamara, you asked me if I was coming on tonight. You jumping on the show? This is true, which is why expectations should be stated at the beginning. Now, can I play devil's advocate with Tamara? Am I saying you're right there? Tamara? Okay, Tamara. Let's play devil's advocate. So you said this should be stated at the beginning. When you say at the beginning, are you saying on the first date, on the second date, in the beginning, within the first month? What help me quantify just a little bit what you mean when you say in the beginning. Because I'm gonna be honest, and this is me talking as a man. Courtney, man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm by myself, so I can't read all y'all. I want y'all to keep commenting and talk to each other, even if I don't get to your comment in time. But listen, I'm gonna be honest. What if I don't really know if I like you that much in the beginning? But the more I hang around you, we grow on each other. I start to appreciate, because see, in the beginning, all I really see is the olfactory. All I really see is what my eyes can see. I notice how pretty you are. I notice, some of us a little more shallow, I notice the shape of your body. If I'm around you, I might see how you treat your kids, But most of the things that we see in the beginning are external. And we shouldn't, I don't think, want to be with somebody just based on external factors. Now, this is just me talking. I'm playing devil's advocate, and it's easier to have this conversation, like I said, if one of y'all want to come on the chat. But come on the group. But so what if I might not like you that much in the third month? I like you enough to hang out. We ain't got to do anything, essential with me, intimate or whatnot. We just enjoy each other's company. But I'm not sure if I'm ready for a relationship yet. But I like you. What happens at that particular moment? Let me read some more through these comments. Okay. Let me see. Courtney said, I agree, but I also believe, depending on the person, everyone needs that one thing to bring out of them, which the other person doesn't see. Okay. Keisha, what question did I ask? I asked, did y'all think this was an ultimatum? She said, I do not. People grow at different times. It's okay to be ready at the same time, but understand with all decisions come consequences. That's right. And one of the consequences would be fumbling a good woman or man because you're not ready and they are ready. And if they move on and you're not ready, how you're going to be feeling real salty when you all of a sudden you're ready and they're not. But I grow. So, I mean, like I said, there's no one size fits all answer for any of these questions, right? And each answer is relative. Would y'all agree with that? Yeah, would y'all agree that all of these answers are 100% relative? Huh? I think they're relative because what Lakeisha might put up with, Tamara might not put up with, and what Courtney might put up with, Steve might not put up with. Let me go a little bit further. More comments. This why you have to check the mind. You check the mindset first. Okay, so when you say check the mindset first, Courtney, what do you mean? Are you trying to find out? Because you can find out goals. Watch this. You can find out general goals without finding out specific goals, and then kind of marry the ideology. Does that make sense? Like he said, you got to check the mindset. Okay, so if you got to check the mindset, so he might not, if you know, like y'all have talked about marriage, and you know he's one, you might even say, hey, do you plan on getting married one day again? Do you ever plan on getting married again? Well, you plan on getting married one day. At that point, at least you know that if he does get in a relationship, he's probably going towards marriage at some point. But if a person is not interested in marriage, they're probably going to tell you, oh, no, I ain't never get married. And at that point, you can X a stage left, right? But if they give you, as I call them all the time, breadcrumbs, because I think sometimes with these choices, the answers are, y'all are looking for answers to be black and white. And you're not giving any room for gray areas. And that's why I think relationships are killed in the incubator. See, a grasshopper kills the seed just when it's about to grow, when it's about to come out of when the potential that's in the seed, when the chaff breaks and the seed's about to come in, the grasshopper eats up the potential, right? So I believe that's what's happening with our relationships. There's potential there, but that grasshopper mentality, what Courtney's talking about, a mindset, because we don't ask the right questions. We ask a question. But see, I'm a master at asking questions. I can ask the same questions 5 different ways and probably get 4 different answers out of you, but I'm going to get the end result that I want. Right? So, I mean, so like minds agree. You know, people always talk about being unequally yoked. Well, the Bible says be unequally yoked, but it also says be unequally yoked with unbelievers. So that means that people that believe the same thing you do. So if you know somebody is at a certain point moving towards marriage because they said they want to get married, but if you ask me if I want to get married, I'm gonna say yes. I have no problem with marriage. One day I will get married again. When I meet the right woman, fall in love, all that kind of stuff for the right reasons, I'm gonna get married again. But I have some friends, if I call up a certain person right now and I ask him, hey, are you ever gonna get married again? He's gonna say, hell no, I'll never get married again. And so with me, I might not be ready to marry you tomorrow. I might not be able to marry you in 30 days, but at least you know that's my mindset. And so that's what I'm saying. Y'all, we cut people off because I cut games. You know, I'm a runner, I'm a track star, I'm about to run off, I'm gonna do all these types of things. I'm gone. But the truth be told, sometimes you have what you, and I get it. But risk typically come with a reward. And the greater the risk, y'all, I'm having fun tonight. Usually, Coy, what's up, baby girl? Usually, the greater the risk, the greater the reward. Look what he said. You can't make someone be ready for what you're ready for, and you're not obligated. You're not obligated. You're 100%. You have your choice to do what you want. Tamara said, Jesus help. In most cases, somebody's asking, what are you looking for? At what point? That's all I'm asking. Are you asked that on the first date, right? On the first date, that's all I'm asking. That's all I want to know. Y'all help me get these understand. All right, so I don't see all my comments. So here's some more comments are. Steve Roby said, I think it takes at least 2 years for you to know someone. At first, they will show you all the good qualities. Steve, boy, they will. See, Y'all think is Steve on with that one? He said 2 years. That's a long time, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. If I see you and I like you, I know at that point, for me, I know you're a man too. So for me, I'm visual. So before I see you as my wife, I have to first of all see you as a wife. And if I see you as a wife, then I try to envision you as my wife. And then I want to know how that looks. And watch this. If I can envision you as my wife, then I'm going to put in the necessary work. But until then, I'm still learning. Now, here's the conundrum with this whole situation right here. Because at a certain point, you got to make a choice. If you mess around and, because one thing about me, baby, if you draw a conclusion, I'm going to let you draw that conclusion. So once you draw that conclusion and say we're going in the friend zone, then we probably stuck there. Do y'all agree with that? Let me read some more comments. Y'all help me remember where I am in case I get stuck. But because once you get in the friend zone, and this is the question. Y'all can start answering this in the chat. And Corey, if you want to come on, let me know. I need to send you this link because I need somebody to help me read these comments. These comments these comments are coming kind of fast. Courtney said, find out what they want from the union. Keisha, if you want to come in, either one, somebody find out what they want from the union from jump. What are you looking for and expecting out of me? You find that out in the beginning. So when we talk about the beginning, how long is the beginning? Maybe y'all have already answered that for me in the chat. Maybe y'all have already answered that. How long is the beginning? I see a lot of rights and a lot of truths. And, hey, hey, y'all. True, Kim. Hey, Charlotte. This is what my friend Sharon says. She says, I want marriage, but this dating thing is crazy. Definitely straddling the fence. I get it. But you know you want marriage. And you shouldn't deviate from that. That means don't leave that one right there. If you know that's what your desire is, then you should only deal with people who are marriage minded. So while you're getting to know that person, you'll find out, as Courtney said, as Tamara said, as anybody else saying, you'll find that out in the beginning. Yeah, you'll find it out. You'll find that out early on because while you're talking to them, at a certain point, somebody, and if he's married, if he's got marriage on his mind, if he's interested in you, if he likes you like that, as these young folks say, he's gonna make it known at a certain point. He might. Have y'all ever heard folks say stuff like, "When we get married, we're gonna paint all our walls black and we're gonna put mirrors on the ceiling." I'm joking. I shouldn't have said that. I'm just playing. But when we gonna have? I heard somebody say, "Well, we're gonna have 2 different rooms." No, and they start planning because they start envisioning themselves with you. And when they start envisioning themselves with you, they'll start dropping little hints and let people know. Yeah, what you got? Steve said, people are put in your life either as a lesson or a blessing. Should be friends first. Once I get in you, it's flesh. And that's all it's going to be. Just my opinion. I agree with that. So Steve, Courtney, let me ask a question. So as you said, get in you, and I know what you mean, and it's all flesh. If you get it sooner, are they less? I don't want to say it that way. Let me reword that. If they make you wait longer, but you're still friends, does that make you think they're more marriage material? Does that question sound right? Yeah. If they make you, Steve Roby, that's a question for you. If they make you wait longer, but still remain friends, I'm talking about for intimacy. The beast with 2 backs. That's what I'm talking about. If that's what we're talking about, if they make you wait longer, but they still hang around, y'all still date, y'all still hang out, y'all still Netflix and chill. She's gonna call you if she knows she needs a tire's got a flat tire or some advice about a car part, whatever. If she makes you wait longer, and if that's a conundrum, a question you don't want to ask, Courtney, ask same question for you, my friend. I got a question for you as well. And ladies, do you feel like if you make? No, I don't ask the question, ladies. We good. Let me go back. Courtney said he got a bombshell question. Let's see what the bombshell question is. He says, how do you deal with a man that wants true love? Ooh. Courtney, that's a whole show in and of itself. I'm gonna type that answer. I'm gonna type that. Wow, y'all give me a second. Y'all talk about that. Hold on. That's a good one right there, Courtney. I'm gonna put that on a. So what do y'all think about that? In the chat, how do you deal with a man that wants true love but doesn't know how to love the right way? Courtney, you to mess me up with that question. Let me see. How do you deal? I'm typing it up with a man that wants. Oops, how you spell Dan? With a man that wants true love, but let's see what I got to look at the comment. But doesn't know how to love the right way. Y'all help Courtney out. Y'all help Courtney out on that. Y'all help him out for real. Y'all help him out. I want to see what these answers are gonna be, ladies, because that's a real issue. That is a real issue because we hear doesn't know how to love the right way. What color do I have up? That's a good question right there, man. He done messed me up. Keisha, you want to come on and tell him how to do it? I don't know, because like I said, I got, man, because Courtney, honestly, that kind of messes me up because I can relate to that question on so many levels. And I'm gonna tell you why, because a lot of how we love is how our mothers loved us. And if our mothers didn't love us properly, then I think there are times when we'll mishandle the next person that comes in our life. That's why I get concerned. I tried my best to make sure that I really worked on that relationship with my between my son and my ex-wife. I wanted to make sure that relationship was always intact. I told her, always make sure that I'm the butthole in this situation. I want her to make sure that if he hated anybody in this house, or if he felt like he wanted to try anybody in this house, I needed him to try me. I wanted to make sure, because one day I caught her jacking him up, and she was jacking him up against the wall, and she was just getting out the shower. She didn't even have a towel on good, and it was just. And at that time, he just wasn't a morning person. And I saw where that relationship could go, because me and my stepmother are real straight now. But when we were younger, we had some issues growing up, right? Because I didn't understand it, and I had issues, and I took some of those issues into my marriage. And I never will forget, my ex-wife said one day, and Mama, I love you, so please don't take this the wrong way. I got to teach this lesson. She said, I hate what your mother did to you. And it hurt because, like I said, if you don't look in the mirror, you don't know you have flaws. Oh, God. If you never take the time to really look in the mirror, you don't see the matter in your eyes. You don't see the stuff stuck in your teeth. So you don't know you have flaws, because all you do is you focus on what's positive, right? And she said, I hate what your mother did to you. And at that time, now my stepmother loved me. Don't get me wrong. She taught me the difference between a dinner fork and a salad fork. She taught me how to make my bed. She taught me how to put a little elbow grease when I'm cleaning the tub. And she taught me most of what I know. I learned from her. But there were some things, because parents grow up with their children. Hear me when I say this. Parents grow up with their children. And as parents, we have to be mature enough to recognize when we get it wrong. Sometimes we mess it up. And at the time, I was the outlet for a lot of her anxiety or whatever was going on. And I felt that growing up. So I thought I was picked on. And I went through life, and I promise I know it affected how I love. So when Courtney asked this question, I hope this looks all right. He says, how do you deal with the man that wants true love but doesn't know how to love the right way? He wasn't taught. So the question is, ladies, all right, do you love him enough Or is it worth the investment to teach him what he doesn't know? Because understand, even when you come in as whole as you think you are, there are some things that you don't know. Because while you're looking for compliments with an I, you need a compliment with the E. I honestly believe that I become better when the right person comes in my life. That's why we need that good thing. That's why we need that missing part of us, right? But I think the problem is that so many of us come in, and I said this the other night, we come in, Zontarius, looking for red flags. And there's a difference in looking for a red flag and just noticing one. I haven't heard answers yet. I'm really want to know. Courtney said, "Yes, sir. I have a story to tell, and I really need answers." This is so many of us say that we want whole relationships. We want men to be a certain type of way. We want to be better. But a man is coming in the chat now in a safe space and asking a question. Now, if you don't know the answer, I get it. But none of us know the right answer, but we can definitely make suggestions. He's saying that I want to love. But the problem is I wasn't taught. I don't know how to love the right way. I'll talk to you, my friends, since nobody else want to talk to you. One thing you might want to do is learn your partner's love language. Yeah, are y'all familiar with all the love languages? What are the love languages? Physical touch, words of affirmation, acts of kindness, sending and receiving gifts, and there's one more: time, spending time with somebody. So sending and receiving gifts, time, what I said, physical touch, words of affirmation, and acts of kindness. So those are the love languages. So they got good assessments, love language assessments, Courtney, that you can go online with, and you and her, if it's somebody you're interested in, that might be something you sit on, pull out the laptop or pull out the cell phone and do a love language assessment and find out. Because like Keisha, for instance, Tamara, ladies, what is your love language? Just tell me. Tamara, what's your love language? Is quality time your love language? And Lakeisha, is acts of service your love language? What's your love language? Let's talk. Because what I'm doing for you, my friend Courtney, is I'm gonna give you a roadmap. Now, typically the roadmap is one thing, but it's the lessons you learn while you're on the road that help you go forward, right? So you might not know how to love, but right now I'm gonna teach you a way to love. Good God, that was good. I'm preaching a little bit tonight. So you might not know how to love, but I'm gonna teach you. So if Tamara says that her love language is quality time, then that means I don't have to waste a whole lot of time trying to buy a bunch of gifts, because she's probably not as big on like extravagant gifts. She just wants your presence. For her, your presence is a present. She just wants your time. And if you figure out how to be in her presence, then eventually you're gonna learn more about her. You're gonna learn what kind of flowers she likes. You're gonna learn what kind of food she likes. She might like, and I've heard her say this before on Facebook. That's the only reason, and I remember what people say. But instead of going to buy her a diamond ring, you might buy her here, Tamara, don't jump through the screen when I say this. But you might go buy her a $20 gift card to Starbucks. But you pull it out while y'all sitting on the couch Netflix and chilling. Okay? So you learn that. What does Charlotte say? The question is, how do you know real love when you don't recognize it? Well, if you haven't recognized it, it's not real love. That was good too. Real love, you're gonna recognize it, because and love and Charlotte, we 1 Corinthians 13 teaches us what love is, what love doesn't do. Because love shouldn't make you feel this way, and love shouldn't have you going crazy. I mean, love shouldn't have you want to bust somebody's windows out there. That ain't love. Okay, so Lakeisha said, I'm an acts of service kind of girl. So if she's an acts of service kind of girl, then you do things for her that are just, just be nice. Make sure certain things are handled. She's probably a girly girl type girl. So make sure that she don't want to have to worry about certain things. For instance, if Lakeisha and I were dating, right? And I know she's an acts of service girl, and I'm at her house, right? Or we're riding in her car, and I happen to look over at her gas tank, and I see that it's on quarter tank. I might say, hey, let's go to the house right quick. I say, hey, can I borrow your car right quick? She's like, yeah, cool. Yeah, you can borrow it right quick. And I might run around the corner right quick. And when I'm at the gas station, I might fill it up. Or on the way home, I might say, hey, when were you going to fill up? Well, I was going to do it in the morning, but I don't really feel like stopping. Hey, stop right quick. Let me fill it up for you. I don't even have to pay for it. She might not even be caring if I pay for it, but she don't want to get out the car and pump the gas. That's a service type thing. So if you're trying to figure out if you don't know how to love, here's a way to do it. And one way I would say is maybe trying to learn love languages. And then the rest is share your deficiencies. I mean, women love now, ladies, if a man is vulnerable and he trusts you with his secrets, don't turn around and try to use his secrets against him. Don't do it. That's not fair. That is not fair. If I talk to you and I have thought enough of you, I hate when my computer starts freezing. And I thought enough of you to come and hang out with you or start sharing my stuff. Don't use that against me. Right? That's right. Right. Yeah, we do that sometimes. Hold on. Who just said some people are suckers for love? I know I'm missing comments now. Steve says some people, James, are suckers for love. Every woman they meet, they fall in love with. It's a difference between praying and praying. That's good. That's good. I mean, Steve, I don't say how they do it. I know men that'll move in with a woman in a heartbeat. I know, look for a woman to take care of them. All those types of things. I don't care how. I'm old school, so I'm probably not shacking with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. I'm not gonna live with you. It's some things I will do, but it's some certain things, and maybe that's part of the problem, because so many of us. I say us because I want to act like I'm a part of, but I really didn't see this. Some of us, so many of us, never saw marriages. And because we never saw marriages, we give boyfriends husband privileges. I really could drop the mic and walk off right there, but I'm going to stay here and let that marinate for a minute. Did y'all hear what I said? I said, let me say it one more time. Because so many of us never saw marriages, what we did is we started giving boyfriends and girlfriends spousal privileges. You ain't got to wash my drawers. Hold on, I got to go grab some right quick. I'm going to do a commercial. No, I ain't going to do a commercial, but I'm going to let y'all keep talking in the chat. Hey, what's up, Latara? Hey, let me put the link in the chat. If anybody else want to jump in on this conversation, I'm in no hurry tonight. I'm on as long as y'all want to be on. I am in no hurry. I ain't got nothing else to do. But let me put this link in the chat. So if anybody else want to jump in and talk with me, Latara, some other people I see right there, because I got to go grab something. Mackenzie, come here, please, sweetie. Call my daughter out of the room, and maybe I don't have to walk away. Hey, go in my room on the other side of my bed and bring me my cell phone cord, please. Yeah, my baby's here with me, y'all. Yeah, for real. Some of you all are giving your boyfriends and your girlfriends. Steve just said it. Some of these cats fall in love with every woman they meet. You know why? Because they're looking for a mama. They're looking for somebody to take care of them. Damn. She said, "Stay out of our business." I'm just being honest with you. And you do know that this gift of discernment works even on this show. That spiritual gift, this prophetic word of knowledge gift, all that stuff. It's not restricted by space, time, the internet, any of that. So it just happens. But for real though, yeah, thank you, baby. Some of y'all give boyfriend privilege, and that's what takes away. Honestly, so what do you have left when you finally do? I mean, what do you have left? That's why they say now that marriage ain't nothing but a contract. we took the sanctity out of marriage. We took God out of marriage. And if whatever I told you, we believe everything. Whoever, when y'all be saying grand rising to me, I don't say nothing back because I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But for real, I don't know who. But whenever you say it, you notice I don't ever say nothing back because I don't know what that means. Yeah. So that's where we are on that. Tammy, please stay out of our business. Jane, no, I'm all in your business. Y'all pulled on my show tonight, so we listening. Charlotte, I'm playing. Charlotte said, I'm a down home girl. I love to cook for a real man to show me he appreciated our time together. That's a good thing. That's good. So she likes to. Now, what if he don't like to eat? And I'm asking. I'm being devil's advocate. What? Because I'm gonna be honest. Me personally, I like to eat, but I'm only gonna eat one plate. And if you put too much food on my plate, I feel obligated to eat it all. But I don't really eat that much. So if I don't eat all your food, it don't mean I don't like you. Or it might not mean I don't like you. And hell, I might not have liked the food. You know what I'm saying? I'm joking, but I'm sure you can cook, Charlotte. I'm just playing. Let's see what Courtney said. Yeah. Okay, Courtney said, I don't need to be taken care of. I need to be taught so I can be happy and give the right one what I know I have to offer. Most women are not going to teach you directly, Courtney, but some will teach you indirectly. And like I said, yeah, I don't think, and that's why I'm great. What do you say? Talk about who, bro? Zontarius, yeah, the link is in the chat. Why haven't y'all jumped on yet? Let me see what my girl said. What up? I'm parked. I can hop on for a quick second. If you have something you want to say, you're welcome to. If you feel like you can contribute to, if you have something you want to say that contributes to this portion, I'm only going to be on this section for another minute or two. Then I got the one I really want to talk about. This ain't the one I really want to talk about. Putting that responsibility. That is, and Keisha, let's say that. Keisha, come here. You want to talk, Keisha? I'm going to send you. Are you in a good place to talk? Because I want you to come on and tell him why you feel that way. She says, Courtney, and she's right. Happiness is your responsibility. Putting that responsibility on a woman is dangerous. Now, he didn't say he was looking for happiness from a woman, but what he said was, and I know you heard him, he said he wants to be he wants to be taught how to love the right way. And so I offered, that a lot of how we love is how our mothers loved us. My stepmother raised me, and I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I felt like Cinderella at home. So I might not have known how to love, because see, a lot of we men, when we limit love to intimacy, we limit love. Yeah, he's happy already. He said, Lakeisha, we limit love to the eros. The eros is the erotic type love. Hold on, let me get my friend Keisha in here. Yeah, I like that. What Keisha, I don't know if you hear me. Hold on, that again. Okay, she's coming. All right. Hold on. I was telling him, Keisha, we limit love to, as men sometimes, to the eros. That's the erotic type love. You know what I'm saying? We think that love is how I make you feel. If I put it on her, you know what I'm saying? If I hold on, I'm just going. Charlotte, cover your ears, because I know you're from the church, so cover your ears right quick. Cover your ears. Cover your ears. If I beat it up right, and make you want it, if I make you want it like that, right? We think that's love, and it's not. So, Lakeisha, if a man is loving you, I know for a fact women want to feel safe. Yeah. So part of being safe, does that make you feel loved? What does love, a man loving you, look like, or what does it feel like? And pay attention. Pay attention. What's your boy name? What's that boy name? Courtney. He said, see the Wayne Slocum. Pay attention. Take notes, because she's gonna tell you how she likes to be loved. DA, the chat. The link is in the chat. If you want to jump in, jump in. Let's go. Latara, you want to jump in? We can get this conversation started. I ain't in no hurry tonight. I'm gonna be here for a minute. Go ahead, Lakeisha. I'm sorry.
Hi, everybody. So one thing that I have realized, I'm in my 40s, and I'm fresh out. So I'm kind of side-eyeing the dating field now, and it's a little nerve-wracking for me. So I stay to myself at this point in time. But one thing that I have realized that was very important for me, that I oftentimes failed to get in relationships that I chose to be in was just that reassurance that it was okay, or that you are safe with me. For me, I have experienced, just like probably everyone, a lot of highs and lows in relationships and things. And, in those turbulent times, not being reassured was something that I did not get. And so now that's a boundary for me. Like, you have to be gentle with me. I am an emotional individual. And even though I have that quality, I have worked very hard on balancing that out. So,
Mhm.
if I'm going to give that strength and not just be all emotional, like at those times that I may need that, I need that acknowledged and I need that respected. That's my main one. But there's some other ones as well.
Yeah. All right. So, what'd you get? Did you get? Did you? What'd you get? Did you get? Did you catch that, Courtney? And they're all different. Now, can we talk for a minute? We good? We good, Keisha?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, good. So, because I'm analyzing a little bit, I don't want to. You came on it, so I want. So she says she's fresh out. First of all, so if you're dealing with somebody who's fresh out, when you say fresh out of a what?
Fresh out of a marriage. So,
Okay, so she's
um,
recently divorced. Recently
yes.
divorced. And she's re-entering the dating scene. Now listen, don't start giving her no advice. Don't do it. This is not it right here. Don't start talking about you need to heal. Don't do none of that. This is not the show for that. She's already said she's in the dating space. Okay. So if she's in the dating space now and you know that part about her, then there's a certain way you ought to approach. Right? See, as hunters, it's a certain way that a hunter approaches whatever he's trying to hunt. He does it carefully. If you're going through the woods and you're noisy and you're stepping on every stick and you're making all this noise and all these, and you got on these loud clothes and you don't have any camouflage on. Oh, James, you're doing this tonight. God, thank you, Holy Spirit. So you're doing all this, right? And you're hunting, right? And as you go through, but you like I said, you're loud as I don't know what's the prey gonna do? Run away. They see you coming. They know you coming. But if you've gotten up in the deer stand, you got on camouflage, you've sat there for 2, 3, 4 hours watching one area, watching one little stretch. And I've never been hunting before. And you're watching this area. First of all, you knew how to have some type, if you're going deer hunting, you knew how to have some type of bait to catch the deer, to get the deer to be attracted to it. You wanted to attract them to a certain area. Once you attract them to the certain, that's a good cliche. We'll get there later on, Steve. You all those types of things. You attract them to the different area, all those types of things. But you put yourself in a position to catch the prey, right? And sometimes you might sit there all day and you might not catch anything. You got to be cool with going home, because guess what? You might not have had the bait or the plan or the tactical gear or everything necessary to try to get what you were hunting. I think sometimes we hang on too long. At a certain point, when it's not working, be content. Be content blessing someone with the presence of your absence.
Can I clarify something real quick? Because
Sure.
this is a
It's a
platform, and
conversation. Go ahead.
we are on social media. So let me just clarify something. I am not dating, and I'm not necessarily ready to date. What I am not against meeting people. I'm not against, getting to know people and things like that. But the whole, like, being in a whole relationship, oh man, no. Not right now. But so let's just get that clarified before that goes out, since we are on a live platform.
Gotcha. All right. So, but that's the thing. First of all, there's not just one way to do anything, Courtney. And Sammy, DA, Latara, Steve, we're telling my boy Courtney Cedar wearing Slocum asked a very real question. He asked this question right here. He said, let me see if it comes up again. He says, how do you deal with a man that, I did this overlay fast. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry it's not legible. It's how do you deal with a man that wants true love but doesn't know how to love the right way? And we kind of deduced from our conversation that part of that might have come from not being loved by a mother properly. That can happen. And the thing is, we have to be sensitive in those regards. In those regards, you have to decide, is it worth it uh, to deal with this person? If I like them, if I like them enough, then I might understand where they are, and I might talk to them. I'm gonna tell you, you want to break me down? I'm gonna tell you how to break James down. I'm gonna go and tell you how to break down because I ain't gonna lie. I'm a hothead. I've been a hothead for a long time. So I'm better now than I used to be. But DA, you know how a woman used to get me when she say, "James, come here." That get me right there, boy. I'm done. At that point, when they say, "Come here," and then when I sit down beside them and they put my head on their lap and say, "What's wrong?" Man, please, I melt like I don't know what. DA, he said, Slocum, DA said, how do you know that you don't love the right way? I guess it's probably from the fruit of his relationships. I mean, I would imagine, I'm not sure, but or the results, I say fruit. Y'all know I'm so churchy. But the results of his relationship, the results, maybe he's not gotten the results he wants. I mean, you didn't catch the beginning of the show, but I'm gonna be, not knowing, Keisha, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm good. I appreciate you, sweetheart. You can go back.
Oh, I had a comment though.
Oh, go ahead.
I think a couple things. One, with the gentleman not knowing how to love properly. I think that's really important for men to understand that it is not just their job to be the protector and the provider. Like, yes, they are supposed to, I don't want to go churchy, but yes, they are supposed to be the covering. But that woman is supposed to be pouring that love into you. She's supposed to be giving you that gas to make you continue to go every day. But, like I said, and I think another thing that's important, if we are just being accountable, and I know that trend words are probably a sore subject for some people, but with accountability,
Like me.
if we are single at a certain point in time, we have to recognize that it is not everyone else's fault. Like at some point in time, there's some things about us that did not allow us to stay in these relationships. And it's time to fix those things and be open to even acknowledging that, hey, like, yeah, I did this and I have this trait that I really do need to work on. And I think that once we come to that place that's where the healing comes in. And once the healing comes in, you can open up and have, those moments to where you can create that safety and have those healthy relationships that you're looking for. So thank you for your time, James. It was nice talking with you. You all have a great evening.
You can hang around all you want to if you want to, but no, you can pop back in if you need to. But no, it's all
I'm
good.
okay. I'm cool. I'm just listening.
I don't know if you're gonna like this next subject, but if you want to jump back in,
go ahead. I'm
good. No, hold on. We'll see how it goes.
I'm good. I'm good. Go ahead.
But I don't want to cover your face up. Give me a minute. I might bring you back.
No,
Free.
okay.
All right. So he said, love is an action. You perform actions through experiences with said action. That sounds good. It does. But the thing is, if you got water in your gas tank, it's not gonna perform as optimally as it would if it didn't have water in the gas tank. And the reason the reason I say this because I speak from experience on this one, because I remember one time my ex-wife told me, I said this earlier, my ex-wife told me one time that she hated what my stepmother did to me, because some men that haven't been loved properly by their mothers, it shows up, unfortunately. I get it. Love is an action. And I'm gonna be honest, I loved how I knew how to love. Does that make sense? Oh, I hate that this phone, this thing is freezing on me like this. I hate this is freezing. But I loved how I knew how to love, and I sucked at it. But and it cost me back then. Let me see what Sharon said. Sharon said, I tried, this thing's moving slow. She said, I tried loving a man who didn't didn't properly love them, and look at me now, ready to give it on. So are you saying he didn't love himself properly? And that's true. If he doesn't know how to love himself, he dang sure can't love you. Oh, let me read Sammy. I see you, Latar. I'm coming. Sammy said we're going to switch subjects. So stick around, Sammy. We're going to talk about that T.I. meme. Maybe he does not know how to love the right way. Maybe he just wasn't giving love to the right person. Maybe he does know how to love the right way. Maybe he just wasn't giving that love to the right person in the right mental space to receive it correct. We can maybe it all day, but he said, and that's straight out the horse's mouth. He said he don't know how to love properly. And maybe he was living with love. But hold on, let me see what. I'm sorry, y'all say I'm such a butthole. I'm not. I'm pretty cool. Hold on, Latar, what you? Keisha, I see you nodding your head back there. I'm just imagine what I'm thinking right now. Latar, what you got for us? Talk to me.
So
first say hi.
Hi.
So rude, gonna come to somebody's house and not say hi. Come on now.
Hola, ¿cómo está? Hello to everybody.
Y estuve bien, y tú? Okay, I'm good. I can do that.
You look muy bien hecho.
Good.
Okay, so thanks, James, for pulling me on real quick. Honestly, I wanted to kind of elaborate on one of the comments that I made in your comment section. One of your followers asked me to elaborate on intimacy, because what I said, that one of the main things in our relationships these days is that they're lacking depth. And we're tying that into, what did Sammy say? Sammy said that he wanted to learn to love, or something to that extent.
No, that was Courtney. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What was before you hop on to the next thing, what was the big flash?
When Sammy told him maybe he does not know how to love, maybe he does know how to love the right way, maybe he just was giving that love to the wrong person, and something along those. Maybe he does know how to love the right way. Maybe he just wasn't giving that love to the right person in the right mental space to receive it correctly. That's what Sammy said to Courtney to answer his question.
Okay, no, that's not what I'm talking about. But okay, I just wanted to elaborate on the fact of these relationships nowadays. We are lacking depth, intimacy, like true intimacy. And I feel like that in itself is going to always contribute to, people, for one, not feeling worthy of love. Okay, because for one, they don't know what love is. All right. A lot of times, even when love is like right in people's face, because they cannot recognize it, they've never really seen it before. I think that was something you mentioned as well. Like, a lot of people are giving girlfriend, boyfriend duties, or privileges, or husband and wife privileges to boyfriend and girlfriends. And that's really a worthiness issue. All of it's always going to tie back to a worthiness issue. When we don't, for one, like I said, know what love is, then we'll settle. Are you still? Okay. We'll settle for whatever somebody's willing to give us. And also, when you don't know what it's supposed to look like, then anybody can tell you what it is. You understand what I'm saying? Like, somebody can tell you that that's love. Like, I'll give an example. Some years ago, when I really didn't, before my self-love journey, or before I actually understood, before God taught me what love was, I was dealing with a guy who, obviously he was very good looking. And, we had some of the most passionate intimacy, if you would say, right? Like that toxic stuff, and I just remember whenever I tried to exit that relationship, he would tell me, nobody's going to love you like I love you. Nobody's ever going to do you like I do you. But really what he was referencing was like that we had this passionate kind of, you know what I'm saying, intimacy, if you will. Okay. And for a while, and I'll even say more than the other aspect of that was he was a little possessive. So he was very like obsessed with me. He was kind of wanting to be in my skin, if you will. Like, and I didn't know it then, like I know now, but I thought, oh my God, he loves me because he wants to be everywhere with me. He wants all my time. He wants all my attention. It was just me. That's all he saw was me. And I thought that was love. And until when I, like I said, tried to leave that situation, and this person was like, nobody's ever going to love you like love you and this, that, and the third, it put me in this mindset like, well, damn, is he telling the truth? You know what I'm saying? I really, for a while, I struggled with the idea that somebody would love me like that. Now I'm like, promise, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, promise nobody's going to love me like that, because I don't want that. But I didn't know what love really looked like. So he could tell me what love was. Okay. Exactly. And the idea of wanting to be wanted, a lot of times we get that confused as well. Like, oh, this person wants me. This must mean that I'm loving them right. This must mean that I'm loving them properly. They want me. That doesn't always equate to that either. Some people are very narcissistic. Some people have control issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to first go to God. If we ever going to learn what, for one, love really is, that's a God lesson. And two, our worthiness for it. Because no matter whether, you can come up in a well-trained home, a well-loved home, a home full of love, all that other stuff, and see love properly. And some people still don't go and demonstrate that in the real world. You understand? So it's like, you might see it, but not feel that you're worthy of it for whatever reason. I think that we just have to really start focusing more on worthiness. And when we can get that in our system, when we start to really understand that we're worthy of the experience of love, I think that love will flow freely to us more often. We'll see it more often, and not just in our romantic relationships. We'll see it in every aspect of our life. And the more we see it, the more we'll receive it. I just kind of wanted to elaborate on that.
I appreciate you. Hold on. DA wanted to say something to you. Hold on. I'm gonna let y'all talk for a minute. DA, the link is right there in front of you. See where it says https://streamyard.com? That's the actual link. You can click on that. That's you can click on that. I'm gonna let y'all start this conversation, but don't give me no 10 minute soliloquy. I need y'all to keep this a conversation. I need y'all to keep this conversation, and I needed her to make her point right then though. But that was cool, so I'm good with that one. But I ain't gonna lie, I guess I sit here and I find myself listening for 5 minutes. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. So I got y'all ask me a question or something halfway through it. Come on, DA. I got it on there for you, my friend. I got it on there for you. You see? Do you see the link? It's right there. Which version are you on? If you're not in it, hold on. I can send it to your chat. I'll send it to your inbox. Because I really want to get to this next discussion. But once DA says what he says to you, like I said, I'm not in a hurry tonight. Normally I'd be trying to get off in an hour, but it ain't like I got to go to work tomorrow. So let me send this to DA since he's not seeing the link. And if not, DA, I'm gonna give you about a minute or two, and then we're gonna move on.
I also, for the young lady, I think her name was Keisha, she mentioned about needing reassurance. I felt, that hit home, because just yesterday, and I think I posted a reel about it. We've been somewhere down the line, I feel like we've gotten external validation and reassurance mixed up. And we've had people, kind of demonize the idea of reassurance. And there's nothing wrong with wanting reassurance, like desiring reassurance. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but people will make you feel like you're insecure for wanting it, for desiring it. And I was just speaking about how God, me and him were talking about this just yesterday or the day before at that point. But he told me, he was like, I constantly ask that you seek my presence, right? And that's reassurance, right? We constantly go to God for reassurance. So if we're not able to go to man, you know what I'm saying? If we're not able to go to the people that we're connecting with in our daily life for reassurance, that's clear evidence that we're not equally yoked, because our Father does not condemn us for reassurance. He does not condemn us for going to him and asking for reassurance. In fact, he encourages us to come to him and ask for reassurance. So yeah, that just, I felt like that kind of hit home to the conversation that, me and God had yesterday, just about the difference between reassurance and not being afraid to ask for it, because you are worthy. Like, you're worthy of knowing that you're in alignment and that someone, is on the same page as you. Because if not, then what are you doing? Like, what are we even doing? What are we doing?
Do you have Do you have a response, Keisha? Before, like I said, I'm trying to wait on DA, but if he's not going to be able to make it in, I'm about to pivot to another discussion in just one second. But do you have a response to
I was over
Tara?
here just like, a little doodling and taking notes as Latara was speaking. And so she was talking about, an ex of hers and how worthiness is important. And I just kind of wrote down brokenness catapults unworthiness.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I think, in that situation, there was some broken areas. And I think that also at times, we deal in situations, those toxic situations, because there's brokenness in us too. And so that it can create an environment to where you don't feel worthy. So, yeah, I was enjoying what you were talking about as far as the worthiness goes.
Oh,
All right,
well, can I want to give a quick plug then. Can I plug? Can I
Cool.
plug, James?
real quick.
Okay. I have a podcast. You can come follow me. I have a podcast on Wednesday.
Girl, if you don't get out my podcast, let me get you off my dog on stage right
Can
quick.
I plug,
Bye.
James?
Bye. No, bye. Bye. I'm gonna kick her out my dog on. Get up. Come here. I love you, but let me kick her completely
Oh, I
out my
enjoyed it.
dang
It was good.
Bye.
I was just over here doodling.
Bless your heart. I appreciate you. Jarvis, they don't
Everything
realize my
was
block
plugged.
game is a mug. But I ain't blocking you. You welcome, but ain't gonna plug right now. Come here. Listen, my viewers went from 14 to 7 while she talking for 7 minutes straight. And then all of a sudden, I'm playing. I'm being serious. I'm laughing, but very serious. I'm joking. I love you, Latara. You say some good stuff. You just say it a long time. Hold on. Let me get DA in first.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go to my real conversation. Hold on. DA, I'm sorry. She in the back room listening to you, and I might bring her back, but she's trying to get the commercial on my show, and that wasn't gonna happen right now. Let me get DA in.
How you doing?
Get DA in.
Hello, Miss Keisha. How are you?
Oh, well, thank you. How you doing?
I'm gonna let her back in, but you better not. Don't be coming and plugging no shows yet. I'll tell you when to plug. Cause you know what the good thing about me. Anybody? Hold on, DA. Hold on. And sorry, I'm laughing, but I'm very serious right now. You don't have to come in and plug your stuff on with me. Do you, DA?
I never have to.
I'm gonna plug you anyway.
Yeah.
Before the show goes off, I'm gonna plug the HE double hockey sticks out of you. Do I do it at DA?
You always do. And I appreciate.
Do I always do it, bro? And don't you do it for me?
Always do.
But I was on DA show up. I was in the chat on DA show the other day, and DA said, "Man, I love his music. Intellectual stew." And Dennis them talking about we plug each other, bro.
I'm always singing your intro.
No, go ahead, DA. Hold on. So I'm bringing you back. I'm just playing with you. Here, come on. Jarvis,
so I have two comments separately. The first one is I think his name was Courtney. It's C something. He was speaking to not how to love, and then to Miss Tara. I'm gray, but I'm young. So I'll say this, please, y'all don't jump down my throat. Just hear me out. And if my babies come, I'm not in my normal space. I'm actually at home having this conversation with you guys. But I'll do my experience with love. I've been with my wife 10 years. We've been married for 3. When I tell you that young and dumb was the quintessential way that you could describe me, it was perfect, right? We like you said, Miss Tara, everybody is gonna tell you what love is. But I heard you say that you have to go to God. I'll tell you that I'm not a godly man. I'm not a religious man. My wife was born and raised in the church. My wife would always tell me how to love her. And I'm not going to plug my stuff, but I'm a podcast guy. I look at a lot of podcasts. Everybody's saying you got to love a woman this way. You got to love a woman this way. You got to love a woman when she teaches you to love her. You got to love her love languages, or you got to learn her love language. You got to do all of that. You can't love anyone until you first learn to love yourself. Because if you love you, then you can't give something that you don't know about to anyone else. And I know y'all probably want to beat me down for this, but God can't teach you how to love you. You got to spend time by yourself. Just like to love him, you got to spend time with him. You have to spend time with you to learn self. Once you learn self, once you learn my flaws, once you learn where I excel, once you learn how I know how to please me, now I can please my wife emotionally. I can please her. I can please her psychologically. I mean, physically, we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I can throw all of these things into the mix. So when the young man says that he didn't know how to love. The love you receive from mom and dad isn't the same love that you give spouse. It's completely different. So you were definitely, I was with you on that, Miss Tyra. Mom and dad can give you all of the love that they know how to give you. But that is
no. DA, I got to challenge you on that one, my friend. We learn relationships by watching our parents. And that's why so many people are deficient in relationships, because they don't have parents to watch. That's and so the love that we're getting, right? Hold on, hold on. I hate to cut you off, but let me just say this, because a lot of this I'm speaking from experience. So I can't discount my experiences. You understand what I'm saying?
I wouldn't refute it if I could.
No, huh?
I wouldn't refute it if I could. It's how you feel.
I want you to. No, I mean, but really, it's no refute, because the thing is, there's no one size fits all answer. Now, I agree with you 1,000%. Before you can love anybody else, first of all, you got to love yourself. I mean, and I think everything emanates from there. Now, he said he knew how to love himself. Does he know how to love himself properly? I don't know. My name is James. It ain't Jesus. I'm not omniscient, so I don't know all those things. He said he loved himself. Now, I know, based on my marriage, I made it 20 years. Okay, 20 years. Now, probably should have been over in 6 or 7, but I made it 20 years, and I heard those words. The words were, "I hate what your mother did to you because of how my mother loved." I didn't like how she loved. You understand? You can go ahead. Come on back. You got your hand up. I like that. That's good.
You literally just said, "I made it 20 years, but it should have been 6 or 7."
Should have been.
So who gave up there?
No, I didn't. You said what now?
Who gave up there?
She did.
Because but you, I can only speak for you. I don't know her.
Yeah,
you said it should have been 6 or 7.
Well,
so
it could have been.
I'm gonna tell
you why it should have been 6 or 7. I'm gonna tell you, because the reason why I say everything I say usually has a reason. The reason why I said it should have been 6 or 7 was based on my actions, because I did things that she should have left me. But she let me stick around. I kept thinking I could fix it. So the next 13, 14 years, I'm trying to fix it. Bro, listen, we slept in the same bed every night. We never argued. We never fussed. You know what I'm saying? We did all of the things that raised kids together, all those things, right? And had a type of love for each other. But it was more of an agape, and we lost that eros piece. And so you need that eros. You got the eros love, you got the phileo type of love, and then you got the agape type of love. Agape is unconditional, right? Phileo is like that brotherly type love. That eros is that sexual type of love, right? So I can have that agape, but if I never get that, if I don't get the eros to mix in, especially in a marriage, because you need eros and agape in a marriage, right? You got to have eros and agape. If you don't have eros in a marriage, and you only eventually, old man said you got to, I heard an old man say a long time ago, you and your wife at least need to swap fluid every now and then. I mean, I know we all grown, so we're gonna have this.
We all grown.
Yeah. But the point is, like I said, I didn't know how. I knew how to love her erotically. I even knew how to love her by paying the bills, by making sure we wouldn't talk about no 50-50, all that kind of stuff. But as far as loving her as an individual, esteeming her, putting her where she felt safe, as Lakeisha said, and comfortable, I thought that if I did the acts and made sure everything else was straight, that was enough. It wasn't.
So let's go with what Miss Latara said, because I loved her answer when I asked for examples.
Oh, she's great, and
she spoke to intimacy on another level. I remember in the beginning of my wife and I heard so much that I lacked intimacy, that I lacked romanticism, that I'm a no touch kind of guy. Like I fist bump you. If I respect you, I'll shake your hand. But we as men, like you said, we think of the eros type of love, and women think about love on a psychological level.
Mental.
So when you say you made it 6-7 years, you just got by paying bills. You just got by, you know what I'm saying, pleasing her body. You just got by having conversations with her when she wanted. I just was laying in the bed with my wife, listening to you while I was in the bed with my wife, and I was giving her my inner thoughts about what my plans are, like Miss Latara said, for the next year, 2 years going forward. And I'm not blaming you for anything, James. I'm not accusing you of anything. You know, I love you, brother. I love you deeply. But that's what we lack as men, because we don't know how to find it.
Absolutely.
But when you don't see love in the home, you still have experiences outside of the home. So you have to find in your mind what works in your friendships, in your situationships, in your relationships, because you have things that work. How about this, James? You and your homeboys never fall out. Why? Why you and your homeboys never fall out?
I fall out with my homeboys though.
That's tough.
I will fall out with my homeboy. No, but so let's hey, you made a good point.
Fall out with my homeboys, James, because I have to have a certain level of honesty when I'm talking to them.
I got you.
I have to have a certain level of credibility when I'm talking to them. I have to have a certain level of integrity when I'm dealing with them. And that's you have that same love you put into your homies, put it into your wife and watch what happens to you tenfold. My wife has taught me now when C said that, he had to learn. I wanted to see what he was trying to hear or what he wanted somebody to tell him. We don't be willing to learn, James. We want to go watch the game. We want to go drink beers. We want to go work and pay and just come home and screw. That's what we really want to do. We don't want to listen to our women, bro. And I'm not telling you, I hate Derrick Jackson. You know I hate Derrick Jackson with a passion. I hate that man. You know what I'm saying? Because I hate what he does. Because he teaches us that we can tell women all of this stuff and lie and pander to them. Meanwhile, that right hand ain't telling that left hand what's really going on behind closed doors, is it? We have to open up to them,
let me say this. Let me say this because I got to move on in a second. Let me say this. Tara, I appreciate you for getting this line of conversation started. And y'all, Tara has a podcast that comes on. I'm joking. We'll do that in a minute. But DA, this is my thing right here.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I agree with everything you're saying. 100%. And I understand what you're saying as far as if the family doesn't do it, or if you don't learn it at home, you got to learn it somewhere. I get it. But the problem for me is most of us, we learn from a platform of struggle. We learn from a platform of damage control because really we should have learned it from at home.
Survival.
That's my point.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
If you and your wife make it until death do us your part, I pray y'all do, right? Your children are going to learn how to love, first of all, from how daddy loves his mama and how mama reciprocates. Now, if mama don't see, a lot of people that say this wasn't raised in the house with mamas and daddies.
Yeah.
That's my point. So when you start saying that you do it, you did it, but you did it from the platform you learned from. A lot of us start our families and raise them on struggle.
Yeah.
You know, Jawanza Kunjufu says, wait until you're 28 to get married. Have 2 children, 4 years apart. And he gives you a formula. He says, graduate from college at 21, 22. Find your sweetheart, get married to her. Stay with her 3 or 4 years, save some money, get your credit right, do all those things. Then have children. Then have the first child, wait 4 years. So why? So one can be out of college while the other one's going in. See, it's a formula that other people use that we don't use. And then what happens, DA, is we find something that's a normal that's become new. But it wasn't the way it was intended. You understand what I'm saying? I get it. If mom and daddy didn't teach you, you got to learn. But it wasn't supposed to be like that.
But even when we say, James, it wasn't supposed to be that way, the template set won't always fit for Keisha like it fit for James.
Oh, no doubt.
It won't fit for James how it fits for DA.
Damage control.
For DA how it fits for Tara. So
no doubt.
Experience.
No doubt.
Go ahead, Miss Tara.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tara. One more, then I'm going to my new subject because I'm gonna do it for 15 minutes. This ain't what else we've been talking about, but it's good. I like it. Go ahead, Tara. And Keisha, you're gonna talk. You can talk too because she's taking notes. Go ahead, Tara.
Okay. Well, first of all, I did hear you, DA, say that you're not a godly man. I think I heard you say that.
Yeah, I'm not at all.
Okay. So I'm not a religious person. I'm being 100 with you right now, but I'm a godly woman. All right.
Well, I think that's what I meant. I'm not religious.
Okay. So even when you speak about the self-love and all that other stuff, you have to understand it. And if you're a godly man, like now you say maybe you are, right? Then you understand that God is you. So when I want to bring that into where you guys are in the conversation about there's this template, okay? This template, these instructions, if you will. Okay. All right. Let's get to it. There is a template. There are instructions. Okay. But people don't go by the good book anymore, right? Because they're so confounded by religion and they're so caught up in religion. Because fact of the matter is, I don't care. And I'm not saying that trauma is invalid. Everybody has their own trauma. Okay, so whether it's coming into a 2-parent home, single-parent home, whatever the case may be, a homeless, abandoned, a foster child, never had a family, whatever. Okay, there is one love. Okay, there is one love, and we can all find that love in the Bible. Okay, the template is in the Bible. All right, like it, and you ain't got to be religious to pick it up. You ain't got to be religious to get the lessons that to know thyself, right? Because the only way that you can truly love thyself is to know thyself, and in order for you to really know thyself, you got to know God. Okay, and that's when you understand this is I'm say this, and then James, do what you want to do. But that's where I believe the worthiness aspect comes into play in terms of now being able to receive love and accept love, because you understand that you are God, right? Like, and so if you are God, then you are worthy of everything, right? You are worthy of receiving all things. You are abundant. You are everything, and especially in spirit, you're eternal. You understand what I'm saying? You are immortal, my love. So when you understand that, then your worthiness aspect goes through the roof. Your standards go through the roof. Your integrity goes through the roof. Your character starts to be molded, defined, grounded. You're rooted, right? And now you're really able to understand what Jesus, or what it says in the Bible about, say, compassion, if you will, because in all actuality, what's again, right, what's missing from a lot of this, the lack of depth and us lacking intimacy, is that we're not forgiving, because anybody that's truly stuck in these warped time wraps of trauma they're still lacking, say, forgiveness, if you will. They're not necessarily compassionate or able to be compassionate with another person for them to be able to know another person, because they're not even compassionate with themselves, right? In order for you to be able to forgive someone else, you have to first forgive yourself. You have to be able to take responsibility for the things that maybe aren't even your fault. You know what I'm saying? The things that you may have come into, whatever the case may be. Like, you have to get to this place of compassion, and that's the only way we really become like fertile soil. Go ahead, speak. Well, James is really
yeah, James, we finna get up out of here.
I'm about to get y'all out of here in a second, because I got to get this other person in here.
I'll say this to your point, Tyra. Wait a minute, Denver. That's my baby. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're good. We need babies.
So when you get to talking about them being stuck in a trauma time warp, you want to know why? Look at the Black community. Everything we're taught is history. They always tell us to look back. They never tell us to look forward. They never teach us about the future. They never teach us about expounding on where you're at right now. It's always what was. That's why they teach us about slavery. That's why they teach us about oppression. That's why they teach us about all of the things that keep us bound. They don't teach us about love. They don't teach us about moving forward. And so that's why people get stuck in the trauma, because we only know to look back. Our history. But our history isn't trauma. Our history isn't slavery. Our history is greatness. This platform, James the Intellectual Stu, he is a great man. You are a great woman. Miss Keisha is a great woman. Miss Keisha, you are not defined by your divorce, sweetheart. I want you to know that. I don't know you personally. I don't know what you did.
Thank you.
I don't know what he did. But that divorce does not define you one single solitary bit at all. So don't let it shackle you or hold you into nothing. Everything happens for a reason. And God said, you know what, Keisha, it's time. Your next season is upon you. Your last is behind you. Don't look back. James, don't look back. I love to hear James speak about how proud he is of himself in today's moment, and how he can say, that's who I was, but let's talk about who I'm going to be tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I love to hear that brother talk like that, because this is what I'm learning in my young age. In my young 40 years, I listen to James and I say, you know what? James is everything I hope to be tomorrow. And next week and the week after that,
you better aim higher.
A man who can take accountability for who he is, what he's done, and what he's going to do moving forward. Hey, listen, I love you.
You ain't getting out. You staying on. No, you don't hang up. Unless you got to go see. I'm gonna kick. Hold on, I got to kick Tara. Tara,
James,
thank you, sweetie.
I can't talk about T.I. in this next subject, brother. I cannot.
You can't. That's right, because you married.
Yeah, I cannot.
Bye, bro. Get out of here. That's why I don't want drivers to talk. I don't even want a married man to talk about this. I don't know why a married man would want to discuss this, but because you putting yourself in a bad situation. I'll
be putting my foot in my mouth. I love you, brother. Be safe, Miss Keisha, Miss Tara. Y'all have a great evening. Y'all have a good one. I'm gone.
Hey, hit me up tomorrow, man. I need to talk to you.
I definitely will.
I bet it up, bro. Appreciate you,
I
man.
bet.
Lakeisha, I
I
respect
got a
what
comment.
DA. I respect what DA just did. No, you gonna still get your comment. Hold on. I'm gonna say I want the comment. But
Oh,
you
no, no,
still,
no.
I respect what DA just did. I really 100% do. Hold on. I'm gonna bring Jarvis in, then I'm gonna let you make your comment, and we're gonna switch to a different subject. Go ahead, Keisha.
My only thing that I had to say was to the men. My question is, when is it okay for you guys to feel comfortable to get the love that you're looking for? If you put yourselves in relationships or getting to know women, I don't want to use the word vulnerability, but there has to be an openness to see if that woman can be that person that you will feel comfortable enough to allow to give you that love. So at what point in time would you be ready for that, or would you feel comfortable for that? I guess is my ultimate question. But we can move on over to the TI comment. I got a
No,
comment on that. I'm ready.
that's actually a good question because Jarvis, how long you been married, Jarvis?
Ooh, boy, don't make me mess that up. I want to say 18, 19. Yeah, go 18 years. It got 18.
Have you learned how to be loved yet?
I mean, in response to what Keisha said, the bigger question is, am I the same
No, answer that
person?
question first. Don't come
Wait
in
a
and change
minute.
my question. You ain't even said hi good yet. Answer that before you ask your. No. Y'all gonna learn these rules in this. Hold on. You come in here, answer the first question. That makes me feel like you didn't like my question and it wasn't good enough for, or her question, it wasn't good enough for you. So you're gonna change the question around. That's very of you, but I ain't gonna say it. Let's answer that question first. How long did it take? And then you can say another question might be, if you don't mind. Can we do it that way, please? Pretty. You can
Okay.
You can come to my house and beat me up tomorrow for shining right now. But today we're gonna answer the question the right way. Go ahead.
Okay. I think I learned how to love my current wife instantaneously.
No, that ain't what I asked. How long did it? See, you don't be listening. You so ready to
I,
talk. Listen to the question. How long did it take for you to learn how to let her love you? Because what Keisha's saying is that she runs into a lot of men that don't know how to be loved properly or don't know how to receive love. You're trying to offer love, and so many,
right.
and some of us are like that. We'll put up,
Yeah.
like this. I'm gonna give you an example. A lot of times, people will give me a compliment, and I'll deflect it because I don't know how to receive a compliment well, right? So she's
Right.
saying that a lot of men don't know how to be loved properly. And because you've been married for 18 years, there's a lot of single guys in the chat. We're answering her question by asking you, how long did it take for you to learn how to be loved? Or you feel like, or have you learned yet? You know what I'm saying? How to be loved properly.
Yeah, and the thing is, James, it's like you want a simple answer, but there is no simple answer. Simply because, if you let me finish, simply because there was a whole evolving process with this marriage. Did she know how to learn to love me, or did she know how to love me in the beginning? Did she think she knew, or was I giving her something that she thought she could love? And me, I was really masking something else. To give you an example from the past topic that you guys were talking about, I had a great relationship with my mother when my wife and I first met. But the thing was, it was masked, and it masked a lot of pain. And
Mm-hmm.
that had to come to a head because the person that my mother created was a whore. And the
Mm-hmm.
person that my mother created was a woman abuser. And the person that my mother created, um, nobody in my life could ever be good enough for her. So
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of years in my in the initial part of my marriage trying to please my mother. And it wasn't until I hit that pivotal point of understanding that, hey, I've got to make a decision. These roads are not going to travel the same way forever. And so one of the monumental points was when I saw my children getting treated the same way that I was being treated as a youth. And I said, that's not the kind of love that I'm going to introduce. So I had a heart to heart with my wife, and I said, listen, um, there's a healthy road and there's an unhealthy road. So what I've got to do, if I want a healthy road, I've got to exclude what's eventually going to drive us apart. And so what I did was I made a conscious decision to build my relationship with my wife from anew,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that we started from a point where, yes, the things that I did, those weren't real. The things that I said, no, I was trying to please somebody else. This is where we are now. And I did it through poetry. I did it through poems. I stepped away from Mr. Talley. I stepped away from the stuff that I thought was important. And I
Okay.
started focusing on a center point of what it takes for my wife to be able to plug that USB cord directly into me and feed and it fed correctly, that then with no lies or anything, that hey, I'm really getting to him. We're really communicating now. He's not just feeding me stuff that I want to hear. He's not just going to Walmart or Kroger and buying roses just to cover up some shit that he did for being gone all night. He's not staying at bars when he says he's working late. He's actually coming home. He's spending time with me genuinely, and we're having great conversations, sitting up, talking, watching stuff together. You know what I mean? Even though a woman may start a series with you and then she cheat on you by watching the season finale before you do, and I never get over that crap. I ain't gonna lie, that's just wrong on so many levels. But other than that, we are to a point now where it, even though it still evolves, James, it still evolves, and there a man can't nobody piss me off more than my wife, and I it's nobody in the world that I could piss off more than you know what I'm saying, than her. We have that connection, and my uncle Bob, who's been married forever, he's been married since I was a baby, since I was in Pampers, and they still married together. And then one thing that he said to me before I got married 18 years ago, he said sometimes, he said, Jarvis, sometimes I could bite your Aunt Mabel's head off. I sure can. She makes me so mad that I really could literally scream. But at
Mhm.
the same time, I love that woman. And ain't nobody ever gonna love that woman like me. So guess what we gonna do? Before we let the world into it, and you introduce that next topic, I would never air my shit on. I never choke my son, God rest his soul. I would never choke my son out on TV. Never.
Mhm.
If we're gonna
But
handle
but
something,
that's not the topic I'm talking about. So don't
no,
go
no,
there,
I know,
please.
no, I know,
Yeah,
I know. I'm
yeah.
not gonna
That,
go
that
there.
ain't
I'm
topic we're
not gonna go
talking about.
there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
what I'm
You left
saying
out.
is, everything that happens in my house, and I just said it because drama does happen. It's inevitable.
Yeah,
If the enemy wants something, he wants to tear something apart. If he wants to add division, if he wants to add things, he gonna send it your way, and he gonna cause confusion. But guess what? The best advice that I've ever had for anybody is to keep outside, and it
yeah,
can be worked out. It can be worked out. Once now, like for me, my ex-wife, once her cousins got in her head, her single cousins, once her single friends got in her head or whatever, then it was a she was she had received and accepted the option that hey, maybe I don't need to be with my ex-husband Jarvis. Maybe I do need to move on. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So shit, you know what I mean? Go with your cousins. Bye.
Got it.
You know
So
what
let
I'm
so,
saying?
so let me ask you a question. Because you did you actually answered it. You start you. I mean, I know the first time you kind of start off with a question, but the thing is, I'm still asking, even through that whole process. Because honestly, when I have a question, I have an end in mind. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to get to a certain point with the results of that answer. Because
Mhm.
it's other people listening. You know what I'm saying? I want them to get certain things. So with all the things that you did, with all the whole process of learning how to love yourself and going through the promote poetry and all the things, how long? Because you've been married 18 years. Because I asked Avery the same question. I remember I asked her, I say, when did you figure this marriage thing out? Avery said, year 18. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. Year 18, I figured it out. So what I'm asking you and there's a whole lot of things that go into that answer, and we just heard them all. But was it year 10? Was it year 12? Was it where the love kind of shifted that you
Yeah.
can honestly put a mark? You know what I'm saying? That you think that it kind of went to another level. Because the reason I'm asking this, Jarvis, and I appreciate you for being transparent. But some people go into a relationship thinking this shit gonna work in 6 months or a year.
All right.
So that's why I ask you the question like I ask you. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Some people think
Mhm.
that, see, you got people that's been married for 2 years and think they're going to be as married as somebody who's been married for 50
Yeah.
years.
Right.
And that's not fair. You understand?
Mhm.
That's the point. So when I ask you these questions, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm not trying to control your answer, but I'm trying to let people see that there's a process to getting to a place of 18 years.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? 18 is a long, bro. You got a 1, a 3, a 5, a 7. You got a 9. You got a 12. You got 15. You got a whole bunch of years to get to that 18. And I want them to understand that sometimes you got to get through muddy water to get to clear water. You understand? That's all. Like I said, I'm not trying to be. Believe me, I'm not trying to be hard. I'm a butthole, but I ain't that much of a butthole.
No, I mean I dig exactly what you're saying, and but for me, I clearly understand that way back in the day, there was some slave that said whose wife kicked him in the back and said, "Why don't you ask that bitch in 1812 that who who you was hollering at or who was ran across the cornfield or whatever?" People gonna bring up stuff from the past. You always gonna have stuff that where you feel like the dust is settled, but it hasn't. And emotionally,
where the past come from in this situation?
Oh, because even though you get over hurdles, and even though we forgive each other for things, it goes both ways. Those I will still say I am not immune to being married to somebody who has not packed a bag and be ready to go. Call it quits. And I'm to say that I am not immune to say that there's been times that I've been like, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? I can go to Goodwill in the airport or the airport and Goodwill, either one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess.
And start brand new. But the thing is, there's a center point of an old poem that for me, and it's a lot of people don't believe it, but once you include God in the center, God becomes a person that I can snitch to in front of her. You know what I'm saying? And as long as we still do the 23rd Psalm, the Lord's Prayer at night, and then our prayers for one another and our prayers directly to God each night, you know what I'm saying, before we go to bed. If we do that, that's my complete snitching session. That's when I can say, listen, I love you, Lord. I love her. I love my wife, but you know what I'm saying? She could have filled them ice trays up. You know what I mean? If it ain't one ice cube in the ice tray, I like to have me a little Hennessy or something at night. One ice cube, Lord. And she hears it. You know what I'm saying? She's sitting there right next to me. So she's like, Lord, please bless my husband. But then by the next morning, she's like, dang, let me go and fill these ice trays up. You know what I'm saying? And she do the same thing for me. So we have our own communication and dialect, you know what I'm saying, with our Father, but with each other as well.
Gotcha. All right, I'm about to flip the script. Drivers, you can't be on this next session because you're married. You got to go. We'll talk to you later. Appreciate you, bro. All right. I don't even think I'm about to do the next session, Keisha. I think I had enough.
We're not talking about you. All right then.
I don't know. Did he answer your question the way you want him to answer it?
Well, I asked direct questions. He gave me a beautiful statement. In his way. That's where we're gonna leave that at.
You so diplomatic. I like you, Keisha. You all right? Where you from again? I'm gonna show you all the meme, but I don't think I'm gonna talk about it. I don't know if y'all want to talk. If y'all start talking, because y'all been quiet in the chat. I only see about 2 people talking, so I don't even know if anybody's even there anymore. So if y'all aren't there, hold on, Keisha. Let's see if anybody's still there. If they want to talk about this, we can talk about it. If not, we can talk about it another night. But this is something.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you for filling in. You needed to come in. You're in the chat every week, so
thanks.
We appreciate you for supporting the show. And it's my goal. Like I said, I want to get to the point. So we did good tonight. We actually got Latara on, we got DA on, we got Lakeisha on, and we got Jarvis on. So we got 4 people out of the audience that came on the show tonight. Look around a little bit, so I know I got that meme in front of your face. So look on your shoulder, look over around to the left a little bit. But I thought it was a great thought earlier today, Lakeisha. But it says rapper T.I. claims men only cheat with women who are disposable. Women cheat with potential partners. Rapper T.I. Now let's somebody on my page today started challenging me, saying that we don't know if T.I. said this for real. They said we don't know if T.I. really said this. So why are you promoting something that we don't know if T.I. said for real? So my response was, let's just take T.I. out of the equation. And let's just use the words and let's just talk. Because wasn't really T.I. She was the only person that said something about T.I. Nobody else mentioned T.I. But let's just say, forget T.I. But let's just say men only cheat with women who are disposable. Women cheat with potential partners. Is that true? Do y'all think that's true? Do y'all think there's some validity to that statement? Even if it's not T.I., even if it's somebody else who said it, I don't really care who said it. But I just look at the statements. And Lakeisha, you see the statement, right? It says women cheat with potential partners. Men cheat with women. In other words, a man can be married or in a relationship, see somebody who's fine as wine, sweet as whatever you want to call it, got a nice little rumperoosker or whatever you like about it, or whatever, whatnot, and you do it, and you do it, and you go home and take a shower, go to bed, whatever, and you never think about that person again, but you did it. Men can do that. Can women? I think society has changed, and women can do it a little bit more now than they used to be, because some of these women have. But what do you think? Do you think there's some validity to that statement?
Yeah. So the only pushback that I give, as far as men, I believe that, just if we dig down in history and things, that men have been conditioned to have and permit, and it's been permissible for men to be, loose and active. Trying to find the right words. Um, Active, overly active. Women are taught traditionally to be more modest, more to themselves, more, find one man or allow one man to find you. Let me get this right. Allow one man to find you, or if you choose to find one man, but deal with one person, so forth and so on.
Mhm.
I think in this day and age, I mean, I've seen multiple TikToks with men being in a chokehold about their little side piece, driving by their little side piece house because they wondering what's going on in their little side piece house.
There's some of them out here.
So, I think times are changing, but, I think that women ultimately, if they're doing that, if they're putting themselves in that manner, then yeah, it's, looking for that emotional connection, maybe not a potential partner, but that emotional connection that they are missing, I guess, at home.
You think that's what it is? And I had a woman say that earlier today. They said if are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, because I can't see myself right now. This okay, we go. My internet's moving slow for some reason, but as long as you can hear me. I had a woman say earlier today that if she starts to cheat, she's pretty much already left. And let me say this. There are no absolute statements. A lot of times these are generalizations.
Mhm.
Okay. We can all think of specific situations. For instance, somebody who cheated with somebody and they ended up getting married and they ended up living happily ever after. It happens. I know somebody who left their wife. I know somebody who left their husband. They ended up getting married and they're thriving together right now. It can happen. But
Right.
when we're talking about this, we're not talking about specifics. We're talking about generals. And I have to ask the question, which one is more likely to have be comfortable? Now I know the man has to have a one night stand with somebody,
Mhm.
but which one would be more comfortable having a one night stand with somebody that they just met? Lakeisha, would it be by your estimation, would it be a man or a woman?
You cut out for a second. Repeat the question, please.
Okay, I said if by your estimation, which one would be more likely to have a one night stand? A man
Oh,
or a woman?
definitely a man. I know a friend that I used to date, and he would talk about that. He would talk about that was just an interaction. He happened to be out. He met somebody. Whatever happened happened, and he moved on about his business. And he went home. Everything was fine. So, and he left outside. I mean, so men are. I believe men are more capable, but these women these days, though, they're
Y'all
very
daughter's something else
masculine
now.
women. Yeah, we're being taught to be very masculine. Even at times, throughout my life, I've had to be more masculine. I have children, I have a job, I have responsibilities. Was a caregiver at one time for my mother, you know, so there was many times that I had to be the lead of my household. So, but I'm in the phase now, like we're going to be soft. We're going to be more gentle. We're going to be more loving. And, so I wouldn't be able to do it. You know, I couldn't put myself in that situation, but you know, just knowing people, hearing things, social media, men definitely could do it and not have any problem with it,
Got you. And
in
so,
my opinion.
and like you said, some women can do it as well.
Mhm.
Um, you know, I've had so I had a woman on. She said, "Oh, I definitely can do it." She said, "I mean, I cheated and I did it. I got exactly what I wanted, and I went on back to the house." You know what I'm saying? And she was comfortable with that. You know, I know some men that aren't very promiscuous. You know, they're not
Mhm.
gonna just sleep with random women. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, I
Right.
know people like that. But when we start talking about general versus specifics, I think
Right.
that there is some validity to say. Sammy, I know you had a lot to say about it earlier. If you're still there, Sammy had a whole lot to say about it, and I like when we answer these questions. The only thing I like I said is when we start to insert our specific
Right.
situations, and then we want to put a specific lens on a general on a general context because we're not. You know, of course, everybody has reasons. Listen, um, it's been fun. I mean, we've been on here for almost 2 hours. Been a while.
Oh, has
Yeah, I
been two
know. I don't
hours.
usually stay on this long, but and I got to figure out what's going on with this internet. I have plenty enough speed, but for whatever reason, the longer we stay on, it starts to slow down on me, and I don't like that. So I got to figure it out. They say I might have too many things connected to my router, so I got to figure it out. But you got something else you want to say?
Nope. I thank you for the opportunity. I hope everybody has a great evening, and I will be leaving.
You gonna be coming on again sometime one day? Did it freeze? Oh, she left.
Intellectual
I
stew.
thought she left. All right. So listen, I appreciate her. I appreciate Lakeisha for jumping in tonight, and I appreciate all of you for jumping in as well. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with all this freezing and all that kind of stuff, but one of these days we're gonna figure it out. Preferably, the Lord say the same, and the creek don't rise, and all that kind of stuff. But listen, if you have not gone to the website to check out our T-shirts and check out everything that we have going on there, please, ma'am, please, sir, go www.theintellectualstew.com. Also, follow our group on Facebook, Stew Nation, the followers of the Intellectual Stew podcast. We have a lot of these conversations in there as well. Hope I ain't offend nobody tonight. I just be having fun. So, Latara, I love you. Y'all check out her page, check out her podcast. I know she's trying to do her thing. Latara Jackson. DA, he was on earlier. Don Taylor, and he has I Just Want to Talk podcast. Please check him out. They come on every Tuesday and Friday night. So y'all check them out. I'm going to roll. It's been fun. Thank you for coming to my little fireside chat tonight. It's going to be a lot of words, but a whole lot of freezing, but it is what it is. Remember this as I get out of here, as I say whenever we meet. The world is changing. My question for you is, why do you remain the same? If you want to support this platform, there's a PayPal QR code right there, and there is a what do you call it? Cash App. Check us out. Support the platform. Good night, and I appreciate you, and we'll see y'all again soon. All right. Good night.